Today is October 8th and it's 8:21 p.m. Eastern Time. This is the weekly chart for Alibaba, ticker symbol BABA. And as of today's close, they closed at 161.52. And for the session, it was up $5.52. So considering that Baba had a strong week this week, I thought I'd revisit this stock, as my initial review was back on August 24th, which was essentially based around this candlestick right here from August 23rd. And the levels that you're seeing here, or what I've posted, are levels that I identified back in August as the local support and resistance levels I thought were relevant at the time of that initial review. And in addition to the support and resistance levels, I did mark up this pitchfork, and the blue band was providing resistance, and this dark purple solid line is acting as support. The dotted blue and the dotted purple are, I think, wild card support and resistance levels, because price, I think, may hold up here, which it has, right? Since I added this back in August, the dotted purple is showing to be a strong support level for Baba, as well as, well, the blue hasn't been tested yet, but this yellow line running down the middle of this channel is what I consider to be the heart of the trading range, because we could see that after price got rejected at this upper band, price did consolidate around this yellow line before failing, and then price trying to get above it, and it does. And then here it just straddled along the yellow line for a couple of weeks, right? And it's back in that zone right now. And where price ended this week, it's right up against the yellow. So looking at this, I think from my perspective, I don't think Bob is going to be able to get above this yellow. I think what's going to happen is it's going to have a hard time. It may consolidate maybe a week here before gradually working its way back towards the downside and retesting 143.85. Yeah, I mean, there's just too much pressure, downward pressure by the Chinese government, and everything else about the trade war and the economy, Evergrande, and all that stuff that's going on in Asia. I mean, all of that, I think, is just negative pressure on the price. And from this surge right here for this week, it appears that once price got above 143, that's what pushed it straight up. So if I toggle down to the daily time frame, right? So price fell below it. It was a mini gap down, and then it immediately, for the next 2 days, tried to get above it, eventually getting above it on the third attempt, which pushed price to over $150. And right here, this is where today's candle ended, right? So I'm going to remove these two blue lines, because here I thought back in August that price was going to eventually break above this yellow line and continue higher, but as you can see that it didn't happen, and price just couldn't get above this yellow line. And my interpretation is I don't think it's going to get above it again, during this time around. So I'm going to delete this and delete this and leave everything else here. And because it's leading into the October 15th Expiration Friday for option contracts, I did take a small position to capitalize on any downward movement, because I feel that, or again, it's my perspective that I don't think price is going to get above this yellow line, which is equal to $163.45. It may wick above it, it may pierce it, but again, it has to contend with this yellow, and then it also has to contend with this other resistance level of 166.25. So that's two resistance levels that BABA has to get above. So I don't think it's going to get much higher than 165 before fading back down and retesting 143. I'm not saying it's all going to happen by October 15th, but that's my immediate short-term view or outlook. So yeah, I'm just going to track this during the week next week just to see how it performs. What I'd like to, what I'm more curious about is how price is going to react going into the November 19th Expiration Friday, because if price does hold up here at 143 and this yellow line still stays true as a strong resistance, again, price is going to range between the yellow and this 143 level, right? It's just going to bounce around. And as it heads into the November 19th Expiration Friday, the squeeze is going to get stronger and stronger, right? So price is going to get narrower and narrower and narrower, and it's ultimately going to build up some sort of energy to break towards the upside or potentially break towards the downside. So this November is something I'm going to be looking at carefully as well. If it drags out, if it keeps going sideways, maybe, going into December, then maybe we'll see something occur then. So this would be an area of interest for me again to look at BABA for a potential breakup or breakdown towards the upside. So this, I'm going to leave this here as a future reference, because I'm going to come back and see what, which way price may go going into Q4 or end of the year. But right now, for the immediate short-term future or short-term outlook, I'm anticipating price is going to get rejected next week and slowly fade towards the downside, eventually touching 143.85. So with that, I did take that position here involving the October 15th expiration date, which is expiring in 7 days. So including tomorrow and Sunday, the weekends, they added 2 extra days, but there's actually 5 trading days left, so it's really 5. So the specifics for the position involves the 155 put. So essentially what I'm saying or anticipating is that by October 15th, I'm anticipating that price will be at or below 155. So price is at 161, so I'm essentially, this is a $5 move towards the downside, right? So it gained $5 today alone, but I'm anticipating a price at least $5 pulling back all next week. I did take 2 contracts. My entry price was $1.80. It closed today at $2, and since entering this trade, it's up $40. So my trade entry was at 3:30. It's 30 minutes before the market closed. So I held out as long as I could before buying these puts, because I saw that it was starting to tick towards the downside. That's why I ended today $40, because had I got in any sooner, I would have been, it wouldn't be $40 profit at that point. If it was later, then the premium wouldn't be 180. I would be buying it at $2. So it's kind of fortunate, knock on wood, at this time that I got in at 180 before the price started increasing. The premium of the contract started increasing. So before I end it, I just want to recap the math. So each contract was $1.80. Each contract represents 100 shares. So each contract was $180, and I picked up 2 contracts. So not including commission, this trade cost me $360 to hold 200 shares of BABA for 5 days, for 5 trading days. With so this is equal to me shorting the position. Otherwise, the alternative was to actually short these shares. So if I was using today's closing price of 161, what was that, 52 times 200 shares, it would have required over at least $32,000 in margin. So either risk $32,000 or under $400, right? So I thought the most efficient short, air quotes, was to use the option contracts for this position. Now, going back to this, if this is a big if price does pull back significantly to 143.85 in the life of this contract, if I click on the Analyze tab, right? So looking at the blue, this is my expiration P&L. So if price hits 143, right? So here's 143. My potential profit, my max, well, I wouldn't say max, but the potential profit, if price hits 143, this would be a little over $2,000 trade, a winning trade. If, again, it's big if price hits or drops to 143 by on or before October 15th. So even if price does a moderate pullback to, let's say, 150, that's still over $600 profit. It's still a winning trade. It confirms it's a winning trade, and my assessment of Baba was correct. So those are two important things to me. It's a win. So I'll continue monitoring it, and I'll do another update after this week or before I close the trade or whatnot. But until then, I'll see you.